We do have a showcase winner. Tyler Ford is nice enough to share his site with us so that we can review it, see the progress he's made, and potentially provide some constructive feedback on how he can improve his site. Tyler, let me go ahead and unmute your microphone here. All right, Tyler, you with us there?
I am here.
Awesome, great. Yeah, is this your first webinar with us? Have you been with us in the past?
I've been on a couple webinars. This is probably the third one I've been on and the first one I've been featured on.
Okay, awesome. So your site is Cash Home Buyer Directory. Can you just tell us a little bit about what this site is, what your goals are with this site, and kind of why you started it and what you're hoping to get out of it?
Yeah, so I'm in real estate. I've been investing in real estate for 25, 30 years. We deal with motivated home sellers. And so I've got a lot of other websites out there that generate quite a few leads. And so I'm always in my mind trying to figure out different ways to boost my organic SEO on some other sites that I have, and then also a way to get more leads. So I launched this site right at actually the beginning of 2018, and I worked on it over the holidays just because I had some spare time. So it was just more or less at the beginning something that I wanted to do for my own benefit in terms of helping some things that I have here locally in where I'm at. And then the more I dove into it, the better the idea I thought it was. And it's slowly and surely starting to evolve.
That's great. Was it an existing website, or did you launch it fresh on Brilliant Directories, this specific domain?
It was launched fresh on Brilliant Directories.
Okay. And so you're using it as a way to capture leads of people who might be interested in selling their homes for cash, or just people who might be interested in selling their homes.
Correct. It's typically it's a different type of seller, somebody that has more urgency to want to get things done hassle-free, right. Cash. So it's somebody that's not wanting to use a real estate agent, but rather reach out to a real estate investor to sell their home quick. And typically, they sacrifice price for speed and convenience of as is and hassle free, and just knowing that it's done without having to list it and have traffic coming through their homes. And so we're dealing with motivated home sellers.
Gotcha. And is this nationwide, or is it just in a specialized region?
It's the U.S.
U.S. Okay. So that's nationwide.
Yeah, but it's also, there's a couple things. To get motivated seller leads, but also, it's a competitive space. There's a lot of investors fighting over the same stuff. So a lot of investors have investor websites, and so they're looking for ways to create backlinks and rank their organic website on the first page of any search engine. So, initially that's why I created it. It was more for me in terms of getting my site to index better to generate more leads. So, it's a combination of a couple different things, but we've got a couple websites that do really well in our local market, but it's a combination of a lot of different things that, have allowed us to do what we've done. And using the directory is just another thing that we've done with our sites to get them to rank better.
The members that are part of your site, did they join organically, or did you import them, or were they already part of your network?
Combination of both. We did a lot of just claim listing where we just wanted to make it look like there were people covered. If you click on Find Cash Home Buyers on that link, so we wanted to basically, my wife and I spent the month of December just putting enough claim listings in every state to look like, if somebody went there would be somebody that they could find.
Gotcha. Oh, I like how you moved this up here. Gotcha. Okay, great. Yeah, Pat and I, we were checking out your site, and we felt the same thing. The focus of the site is to attract consumers and actually to most consumers might be unfamiliar with the process of cash for their home. That most consumers are probably unfamiliar with selling and buying real estate in the first place. They probably only do that a couple times in their life, unless you're a real estate agent. So we thought actually your site tied into the idea of confidence boosters, but not necessarily on a checkout page, throughout your entire site. And that the goal of these confidence boosters that you can add to your site would be to ease and eliminate fears and doubts that people might have of a cash home, selling their home for cash, and that whole process. To some people, it might sound weird or unfamiliar. They don't know that process. And what we noticed, and we noticed this a lot, when we scrolled down on your homepage, that there were blog articles here, but they weren't geared towards the consumers. They were geared towards potential cash, the people who buy the homes for cash, and how they can get more leads and things like that. Like how to find motivated sellers. That's something a buyer would be interested in. This one looks like, this is probably better. Should you sell your house without a real estate agent? So this one is probably more geared towards a consumer. What we thought would be helpful for you might be to have more articles such as the benefits of selling your home for cash, 10 easy ways to get the maximum cash value for your home, when you're selling it for cash. Things that are just a little bit more consumer friendly that you can also use in some of your marketing efforts, such as on Facebook and things like that, to attract people who would more likely be interested in selling their homes for cash. Before I go any further, I was very curious to see how your site was ranking for find. Like you said, it's a very competitive space, but just for find cash home buyers. Cash home buyers. Is this your site? Cash home buyer directory? No.
Yep.
No.
Yeah. Oh, no.
No.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Find cash home buyers. I mean, it's four keywords in quotes. Okay, but yeah, you see all these people advertising for those at the top.
Right.
Okay, so
that's where, it's that way in any. Yeah, it's a competitive space. For
okay.
Sure.
I did a very specific. You probably won't be at the top here when I remove the quotes. But first of all, that's good to see that. Yeah, you're not at the
I am at the top. If you add directory, then I'm at the top. But a lot of people, I'm still on the first page.
You're still on the page. Okay, so first of all, kudos to you. That's awesome. So you really have a couple things that you can do with this. You have the lead form on the homepage, which is fine. How do you know how this lead form is performing for you on the homepage?
Not well, and I've hired one of the people that you recommend, and that's one of the tweaks that I'm going to make. The other thing too, and I wanted to get your opinion, but yeah, I need to make some changes to the form.
Gotcha. What I recommend doing is actually starting your site with the article slider. But obviously the articles will be geared towards helping eliminate the doubts and fears of potential consumers that want to sell their homes and actually getting them excited about the idea of selling their home for cash. The right time to do it, working with the right buyer, and things like that. So I would recommend the article slider here. And when you come there, you're just going to shower the consumer with positive articles that really get them excited about the idea of selling them their home for cash. The convenience, the speed, and all those benefits, and the types of situations that someone might want to sell their home for cash. Sorry, Pat, I cut you off there.
Yeah, no, so that's a great confidence booster. And to me, there's two other angles I'd be very curious to look into with an industry like this one. Again, going in line with confidence boosters, Brilliant Directories has this really good feature that's called Properties. And I was wondering if just a little bit of tweaking, if you could add properties that have sold on Cash Home Buyers streaming on the homepage, show it, letting, even if it's just for marketing purposes, showing people what they were sold for and saying these are the latest products that were sold. Now I feel like, okay, people are getting results with this. Look at this. Look, honey, this home sold for this and this home sold for that. And then the other recommendation I was going to have is, I think, putting myself in the shoes of somebody that would be selling their home. Right now you have a lead form that's kind of like, hey, fill this out and we'll call you. That to me is I'm be hesitant to give you my information. If it was submit your home property, submit and see what offers you get. I can fine tune that language. But if I felt like, hey, if I fill out this form, give people information about the home that I'm selling, I can find out what kind of offer I would get for my home. Now I'm much more interested in submitting a form like that because it's more in line with the experience that I'm looking for. Not just information about me, but it should be information about my home, my location. Maybe you could do a lead magnet that says, what are homes selling for in your zip code? Put in your zip code here, and we'll get back to you and let you know what the homes are selling on average in the area. These are all different tools that you can do that as somebody that's trying to sell their home. If I'm a motivated buyer, a motivated seller, I want to find out what I can get for my home pretty quickly, probably for different reasons. So the more you can make that information accessible to me, the more likely I'm going to be to fill out a form. And those, again, I'm throwing a lot of information at you at the same time, but I do think taking those different approaches and seeing which one works best would probably be a good approach to use.
Oh, that's great advice. And do you mind if I ask some questions?
Please.
Do.
So one of the things that I'm struggling with, this image really doesn't portray a motivated home seller. It's more of a relief when they get it done.
It looks like they're
just moved in.
Yeah, it looks like they're settling.
Exactly. And I'm struggling to find the right image, whether it's just because it's a directory that's all over the U.S. and if I pick a home of an area that I'm in, then it's not congruent with. And I've looked and looked and looked, and I'm just struggling to find the right image.
So there are you might not need to have people on the home page. You could just go as simple as a house, and then have your lead form on the left, right, or center. That's fine. Let's just go to some popular real estate sites like.
Yeah, well, I looked at Trulia and they don't. Trulia has a person. Zillow does not.
Gotcha. Yeah. So they got a kid. They probably change it monthly as well. They probably A/B test it. You probably see different images based on the location you're in and things like that. They're multi-billion-dollar companies. So yeah, you can. It doesn't have to be anything. Look, this is, in my opinion, is not the best picture. It looks like this is a video. You can see the trees swaying a little bit, but it's nothing impressive. What's more impressive, Tyler, is the text that you use and the simplicity in the layout. So just very simply, I think this text is too small, and it's a lot of text. It's almost the size of your main menu links when this should be title text. Just small things like that. Let me actually go to our lead gen theme because I can see that that's what you're kind of emulating here. So we can see here. Well, image isn't loading for some reason, but get instant quotes from professionals near you. And then you can have, what you can do is find out how much cash you can get for your home today. And then it would be Pat's form with where you're located, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, land size, year built, just general real estate questions. And then they submit that lead and then say, thank you for submitting. Our team will reply to you. We'll connect you with cash buyers with potential offers, or whatever the words are that you want to use. And then are these leads being distributed to your members, or are you manually sifting through the leads yourself and then distributing them accordingly?
That was, again, I'm getting leads, not a ton. So I'm learning as I go. If you go to the join page, so this is kind of how I have it set up. If you scroll down at the bottom so based on how they come in, And so I've been just sending them out based on location when they come in.
Based on
I
location.
don't know if that's I don't know. Is that the right way to do it? Can it be automated to where I don't have to do anything?
It can be automated. What I would recommend is first to limit this to just 5 to 10 features. I think we cover this in a lot of webinars. This is too many features for a real estate lead, or lead matching site for real estate. Instead of list in one city you select, I would recommend get leads from one city. Get leads from up to 3 cities. Get leads from up to 10 cities you select. So instead of being listed in them, you're flipping. You're saying you're going to get leads from these from multiple cities. This is good, like tier 1 in the cash. I would say instead of investor, I would say cash buyer directory. That kind of more. I know they're investors, but it might be more. The cash buyer directory might sound a little more catchy, like it's a thing.
I have a question. Like, so every time I played with this, it horks something up. Like, and so I've been leery to go in and and I agree with you, but every time I make a change, it actually messes up like and then I have to go into support and then you guys fix it. So curious, and I don't know that I'm doing anything wrong. It's just something to do with the code. Every time I go in and change these.
Do you want to? Well, we're here. You want to maybe spend a few minutes and limit this to maybe 5 or 6 features and get this page looking nice and tidy?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, that's all right. I just because I've played with it and I agree with you, but like sometimes it is fine, and then sometimes it like gets messed up.
I'm with you. So I'm gonna do 2 things. First, I'm going to delete your basic and featured. We're going to add them back in just a moment. So let me just delete this. And this might be good for some. I want to get into this because the pricing page I think is a real pressing point for a lot of people in the webinar. So let's show you guys some shortcuts here. All right, so now we just have your premium level. I'm going to delete what we do need here is a bulk delete feature. You got to go one by one right now. But let me just quickly delete a few of these items here. Hopefully we could do it in just a few seconds. And that should stay open when you delete. This is why I like the webinars. We can kind of make notes about these things and fix them. Custom cover, I don't know what that means. Publish articles. No one wants to publish articles. They want leads and they want to buy houses cheap for cash and then flip them. All right. Post properties for sale. Okay, we'll keep that. Add videos. Almost done. No ads, yeah. It's not important really. Create backlinks. That's kind of redundant with the link to your website and the social media.
But one of the biggest things, like I mean, in a lot of these real estate,
let me combine it. Backlinks to website and social media. We'll just combine them. Backlinks to website and social media. Let me save that. That way we're turning 3 features into 1. You had list website, social media, and then create backlinks. So this way we just combine them into 1. It's a little longer, but I think it'll be fine. All right, almost done. And get rid of the create backlinks. And let's get rid of one more here. Free seller leads. Okay, that's fine. Great. Let's save the changes, and you should just see one here. Okay, here's your premium. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is everything someone could get. Now I'm just going to duplicate this twice, and we're just going to eliminate things and modify them. So let me do this. Clone menu, and clone all sublevels. And I'll do that again. Clone menu item, clone all sublevels, and I'll just quickly save the changes. Great, and now we're going to see 3 premium levels here. And we got 3 premium levels. Okay, what I'd like to do first is update the features, and then I'll update the prices, the checkout links, and then we'll talk about the names of your products here.
Okay.
But again, remember that when you make your site more geared towards the consumer and you shower them with positive messaging and articles and information of why they should sell their home for cash, the investors and the cash buyers are wise enough and keen enough to pick up on that. And they'll just find a way to register for your site because they know that, wow, this site probably, and you can advertise that you're on page 1 for find cash home buyers, now that that's an asset. And investors would be dying to join your site at whatever price. You might want to increase this to $2,000 a year for that kind of, if once you start getting leads and they're getting that kind of exposure, because it's real estate is a very high profile, high value industry. So I'll just change these back to featured and basic. You might just want to have 2 membership levels in this one, a free registration and a paid version. Are you okay with that actually?
I did the free for the last month and a half, and
oh, sorry, not free. Sorry, I mean the basic for $9.99 and the premium, and get rid of the middle one.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I did the free, and I mean, real estate investors, like you said, they're making big money on deals, and I tried the free to generate more people and then try to upsell them, and I'd rather not. So, but yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, we're going to use the decoy effect. We've talked about this in previous webinars. What we're going to do is actually we're just going to keep the $24.99 and the $29.99. Guess which one most people are going to sign up for? The $29.99.
29.
Exactly. So let me delete this free one. All right. And let's change the pricing here to $24.99, and that equates to 20. I don't know. I'd like to put confidence boosters right here instead of this. Best value and results. And this one can say like just say something like register in 90 seconds. And guess what? That translates to the premium one. You can register in 90 seconds and you can get the best value and results. So now they're all going to be left. I'm going to center them in a second. So let's talk about what we're doing here since we're talking about confidence boosters. Best value and results. People want results when they're joining a site like this or a membership community or something like that. So we need to keep our features. We need to play to their ego and their goal to be successful. And instead of adding all those things like you had, like adding photos, adding videos, those don't really play to their goal of being successful. So and the simpler a pricing page is, and the more you press on their ego and that their ability to be successful with your site, the more people are going to sign up to your site because you're compelling them to sign up. You're really giving them no reason not to sign up. So let me center this now. We have an article. And
would you not put the yearly price on there? If they do for a year at the discount?
You have to ask yourself, what are you really trying to sell people here? Are you trying to get people to sign up, or are you trying to make an extra buck off of them? How many decisions do you want people to make when they're coming to this pricing page? So if you have the yearly price there and 2 membership levels, now you're asking them to make 4 decisions as opposed to 2. If you had,
but they still get the annual on the checkout, where it gives them the ability to make that decision at some point, correct?
That's fine. I like that because it's a nice surprise.
When they at a discount.
Exactly. They can see that they're going to save 20% or something like that on the checkout page. So let's remove some things from the featured. So this one will say access leads from up to 10 cities. Is that good terminology, Pat? Access?
Or get
leads, sure. Receive leads from up to 10 cities. So the other one is going to be receive leads from one city. And just your goal here is to make that premium plan just unbelievably more value, have more value. So this would be tier 2 in the cash buyer directory. That sounds like a lot of fun. I want to be in the cash buyer directory. And I guess, and I will do we're almost done here. Backlinks to your social media, negative. Add phone number, negative. Post properties for sale, negative. Price to purchase leads. And what price do you want? Was the featured? It was.
Are we gonna? Yeah, we should probably increase it. So we have to go back in and clean up the.
Yeah, so you can go to your membership level settings, the products, and just make sure that these things match up: the price, the tier 2, and the price for leads. So let's actually.
And what about the checkout? The link.
I'll do that right now. So your featured was checkout 2. I'm just going to change this checkout link from 1 to 2, and I'm going to move this price to purchase leads up here. I don't want it nested. I'm going to do price to purchase leads. I'm going to say free. And I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to fatten these up a little bit. Right now there are 4 columns. We've talked about bootstrap columns in the past. I don't want to get too much into that now. This is going to create a fatter design here. All right, let's check out your pricing page. Price to purchase leads, free. Okay. Looks like I did something here.
Yeah, that's what it's been doing to me when I.
No worries. No worries at all. Let's see what's going on there. Price to purchase leads, free. Should be all good there. Let's see what's going on. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but all right. Let me do this. It's missing the border here. Let me leave it for right now, Tyler. After the webinar, I'll come back and just make sure that that's looking fine for you. But now I just want to do a little bit of a before and after. Get motivated seller leads and boost your SEO. I like that. 30-day money back guaranteed. And before you had this page here.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. Yeah, it's above the fold.
Very good use of terminology. Above the fold is basically, it's almost above the fold. I have a small screen here, but you can basically get everything in just a few scrolls.
And would you position the premium first?
I would actually call them something else. Instead of featured and premium, we just talk about this. Again, we want to play to their ego. So you can just, honestly, you can call it like multi-city leads and single city leads. I'm just thinking multi-city leads and that pretty much says exactly what it says, what they're going to get. Multi-city leads, $29.99. Single city leads, $24.99 per month. Now that shines to me right now. That gets me excited as a real estate person that I can get multi-city leads and single city leads. Yeah, I feel good about this. So some tips for you, just to reiterate, you might want to add more things to fill in your lead form: beds, baths. Make them feel like they're really putting information about their house, so they're going to get a real cash buyer quote for that information. And then you want to litter your site with resources and articles. I do recommend the featured blog article slider. It's
so I have a question.
Yeah.
I agree with you on the articles and making more towards towards the seller and not the actual investor. But like a lot of the content that I've created is also for organic SEO, for trying to get people to sign up for the directory. So that's why I've done a combination of both. Is there any way to separate the two so I can appeal to both the investor and the motivated seller?
Yes, you can. So you're the one that's publishing the blog articles, correct?
Correct.
Let's go to your managed products here. So you have an admin blog contributor account here, right? And you have blog articles,
Yes.
and your site also
Yes.
supports member articles, okay? What I recommend doing is removing the member articles from the members and adding it to the admin blog contributor. And this is what I'm going to recommend doing. So you're going to post the admin can post member articles as well as blog articles. What we're going to do is change it from blog articles and member articles to articles for sellers and articles for buyers. This way you can have two dedicated blogs, and you can have them in separate tabs of your site. You can make one of them more discreet. Maybe the one for investors is a little more discreet. The links in the footer, you only share those in certain places. The ones for the consumers can be more prominent. So what I wanted to do.
And quick question for you. So the members that already created articles, they're not going to be deleted. They'll still be there because I've had quite a few members go in and create articles for backlinks and things like that.
Gotcha. So you have, so this is what you can do. Pat, we're going to clone the feature. So as to not disturb your member articles, let's go to your edit post settings and let's clone the blog article. So now we're creating a new one in essence. Now here it is. We got to call it something else actually. So we're going to call this one cash buyer. Oh, I guess, yeah, we'll call it cash buyer articles. That's fine. And I'm going to do the permalink. So this is like the URL that will be in front of all the articles. So this is a great place, since we're talking about it, to put some SEO friendly content. So you could do like tips for cash home buyers. And then the other one could be tips for cash home sellers, things like that. So now all of them, it's a bit long, but it's got all your keywords in there. You could shorten it up if you wanted to and things like that. I'm just change some of the things that say blog articles here. All right, you should be good after that. So now let me save.
There's just one other small tip I usually recommend, Jason, when people do this. That's to locate the name of the form and to duplicate the form. That also takes seconds so that they're not using the same form. So if you ever add a custom field or you have different category sets for one specific feature, then they're not sharing that single form.
Gotcha.
It just takes a second.
Gotcha. Yeah, you could. I don't want to do it in this specific example, but that's a super tip. Is you can clone if you're planning on adding more than just the title and the body of the article, and if you want to add other types of content, you can clone the form in the form manager and then assign that form to be used with that type of content, with that type of post. So let me edit your admin blog contributor. I know we're going really fast for everyone, but now we see cash buyer articles, and I'm going to choose cam post, and I'll just remove the member articles. So now you have blog articles. You can rename this if you want, and you have cash buyer articles. This could be cash seller articles. But now you have two channels to publish different types of content on your site, just like that, without commingling for your professional members and your website visitor members. Creates a conflict of interest almost in what the purpose of the blog is. Right. So yeah, I think those are some good things. You did mention if you wanted like automated matching once the leads come in, and that they'll get matched with the members. We do have an add-on for automatic lead matching. It'll basically match leads that come in from website visitors to members based on the location that the visitor enters and categories. So that if they're looking, as an example, I'm looking for a plumber, it'll match that lead with members who have categorized themselves as plumbers. plus.
Can I do it by location? Because I only have one
Yeah,
category on mine,
yeah.
so it would
You,
get
you don't
it's
have
more
to.
location.
Yeah, you don't have to do category. You do need to do one or the other or both. So you can choose to only do location matches.
Okay, cool.
All right.
What about linking up? Like we changed my join. I don't know. Is it linked up now to the right product in terms of pricing?
Yeah, so this one should go to your premium, list in 10 sittings account. So I love that name. And this one is the single city leads. You might want to change that name. This is going to your list in 3 cities account. So you might want to change this to match what we entered here, single city leads.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
I'm excited about this because this really, like, if I was a real cash buyer, it's already getting me excited that I can get multi-city leads just reading that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, thank you.
All right. And also, it is an asset that you're ranking on page 1 for find cash home buyers, and probably some variations. So you can advertise that in your page that you create about why investors should join your site. That's definitely an asset that you're on page 1 in such a competitive market.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that I think that just happened kind of recently, just based on some work that I've done.
Great.
I mean, the leads aren't reflecting that yet, but I'm confident and certain over time they will.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Tyler, for sharing your site with us. And yeah, we hope that you can join us in future webinars and maybe show us some of the progress you've made on your site in the next few weeks.
Great. Appreciate your help.
All right, our pleasure. All right, that was a fun one. There's really so many directions that he can go in with that because the real estate market is so big and there's a lot of different players. We didn't even talk about people who might not want to sell their house for cash, or people who might want to buy homes for cash but can't do that yet, and creating training programs on how to get into real estate. And there's a whole market out there, but it's good that you have the focus right now just on connecting sellers with cash buyers. So thank you very much, Tyler, for sharing your site with us.